Hi, Junior Achievement. This is Chris Wolgamott from Meritrust Credit Union. And today we are on the hunt to find that job that you might want to apply for someday. Now, we've talked about a lot of different things in Junior Achievement so far. First, we talked about creating your own personal brand and that businesses create a brand to communicate who they are to customers that might want to use their organizations. We talked about career clusters, different jobs that have the same knowledge and skills so that you can find a career that really suits your interests. We talked about career mapping so that you can find different ways and different things to do to hopefully help yourself in the career that might be coming for you. And we also talked about high growth careers so that you can find a career that will have plenty of demand in the future. Now, today we're talking about hunting down and finding that job that you want to find in the future. Now, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about how I found my job at Meritrust. I worked at a credit union in the Seattle, Washington area when I graduated from high school for about a year and a half. And then I decided to move back to Wichita, where my hometown was. Now, I didn't know about any jobs that were open in the Wichita area, but I did know that I had worked at a credit union in Seattle, and that might be a good place to look for a job when I moved back to Wichita. So when I landed in Wichita, one of the first things I did was went to a credit union here in the Wichita area and picked up a lot of their brochures so I could learn all about the organization. Then I put my resume together, completed an application, turned that in, and then called the HR department, Human Resources, and asked if I could talk to somebody about scheduling an interview. Now, all of those steps were able to get me into my job here at Meritrust 21 years ago. But I was lucky. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I had kind of already worked in a very similar position before. So when you are out looking for your job, you're going to need to do a couple of things. First off, you're going to need to know where to look for that job. You could do online searches. You could talk to friends and family that might know somebody at the organization. There's lots of different publications in the Wichita area that list all of the different jobs that you might be able to have. Or you could talk to a career counselor at your high school or at your college when you graduate to see if they might be able to help you out. But one thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to put together a resume. Now, kind of like creating your brand, a resume is a form that you create that tells individuals about who you are. Now, there's lots of different things that need to be on your resume. First of all, you need to have your name and address and contact information. Now, let me remind you that this needs to look professional. So if you have a username or an email address that might not be very professional, you might consider opening up a new email that has a more professional name. You're going to talk about your work and volunteer experience. Now, you might not have had a job before now, but you might have volunteered at different organizations or places, and you can count the skills that you've used there as experience. You're also going to talk about extracurricular activities and achievements. Are you part of any clubs right now? What interests and hobbies do you have? And you can put them under your extracurricular activities, or you can put them under your personal qualities if they count as a personal quality. They're also going to know what your education looks like as well. So you can list your education. Right now, middle school, beyond that, high school, and then beyond that, college. Now, when people are sifting through resumes to find you, the person that they want to hire for a job, you want to make sure that everything on that form is accurate. You want to make sure your resume is spelled correctly, everything on it, that it's very grammatically correct. And more than anything, you want to interest the person that is looking at that resume. So be very specific about all the different skills that you've had, all of the education and knowledge that you've obtained, and all of the interests and the extracurricular activities that you've been a part of. Have a great time putting together your resume, and we'll see you at the next lesson.